Mm. Namaste, great souls, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We're showing up today and so appreciative of that to share the practice together. And I just wanted to say there's so much out there, which is beautiful, about self-care and self-love, and that's wonderful. I mean, I love the lotions, I love the baths, I love the saunas. I mean, bring them on. But what I want to make a point here is true self-love, true self-care is what we're doing in our practices. That not only are we taking care of the mind and the body, but our soul. We're tuning into the big self, the self that's it's a bit of a paradox because the self's already whole and already complete and wonderfully radiant, and yet our self, our how do we say it, our egoic self forgets that. So it's one of the many ways, as you know, yoga, to return to that, and then to consistently just keep drawing deeper, drawing into the heart, dropping into the heart, dropping into that felt feeling of connection, of true self-love, divine love inside our individual form, however that is manifesting. So again, we know this, but so important to remind ourselves that's the essence of the teachings, that my understanding and what I'm inviting you to. So we'll start on with our breath, and you can be mindful of what's going to work for you today, because every day is a different type of feeling going on. And as you're sitting, just let the shoulders come down and around and down. Notice if the hands, palms want to be up with the thumb, index finger together, uniting the individual self with that infinite deep self, self-love. And think of, as you breathe in and breathe out, just starting to tune in, maybe close your eyes, lengthening your next inhale. And then correspondingly lengthening your exhale. If it's been more emotionally or physically or mentally stressful, you can exhale through the mouth. That's a little bit more release there, a couple rounds. And I'm just going to invite us on the next inhale to breathe in. What do we want to breathe in? We want to breathe in tranquility, connection. What do we want to breathe out? Anxieties, worries, disconnection. So notice what it is for you that you're breathing in. Serenity, and breathing out, doubts, fears, worries. Be physical. So just continue with that conscious breathing and add a quality to it on the inhale. Add a quality that speaks to you on the exhale. Tuning into the body, our vehicle that's carrying us around, and bringing it lots of compassion and listening to what it wants today, what works today. Maybe it's hard edge to challenge, then to find that balance there of what is feeling nourishing to the system. Okay, bringing the hands to the heart, making that contact, and continuing to breathe in and connect to the deep heart, to the soul, to the wholeness. As we move, as we breathe, and we'll bring the knees in. And we'll go ahead and make sure you have your props, of course. I like a double blanket for my knees. I mean, the carpet and then the blanket. So let's get the knees underneath the hips, the wrists underneath the shoulders. And first, just extend that right arm, elongate, And then bend both elbows and draw back toward the heels. Again, coming in. Inhale, yang, extending out. I'm just going to do this a few times and we'll add on. Exhale. Folding in. Toes are turned under. Inhale, extending out. Now we'll add that Pilates move. Exhale, draw the opposite knee, the left knee to the right elbow, and then extend. Left toe pointing down so we don't turn the hips too much. Exhale. All right, takers joining us, rounding. Inhale, extend. 2, 3 of these. Exhale, opposites. Bilateral movement, so good for our brain, extending. Now we're going to add dropping that left foot, the right hand, and turning to the side. So we reach up, sorry, my back's to you, but I get confused here. Stretching up, and then lifting now your left leg. And then what we're going to do is make some small circles. Tiny circles, 3, 2, 1, opposite direction. And see if we can add a release here. So as the left foot comes down, the left arm, and then inhale up 3 times. Coming down on that left side, inhale, rising up. 1 more. Coming down and rising up. Lowering the left foot, bringing the left hand down. And of course, we're going to do that to the other side. But first, let's give ourselves a little bit of circular fluid movement. So your sit bones are reaching back towards the heels as much as possible, as much as it feels good. And then go the other direction. Ooh. Let that breath be powerful. A lot of scientific evidence now they're showing with sighing throughout the day. It's going to give us a quick release fix when we don't have time for a full meditation or yoga practice. And then we're going to extend the left arm and then retract back. Left arm extends, reaching out into this day and then folding back in. There's always that balance throughout the day. The extension and then the release. Okay, so from here we do our opposite. We lift the right leg, right toes down, bigger. And then we fold. She wants to be part of it. Inhale, extend. Little toe down, and then exhale. Round. 1 more. Elongate. And exhale. Fold. And then we're going to reach out with our right foot, turn to the side, lift up. So stacking their shoulders, knee underneath me here. And let's go ahead and lift our right leg and make some small circles. Maybe 3 in each direction. Everything's lighting up. And then we work with lowering the right hand, the right foot, and then lifting. Lower and lift. It's same arm, same leg. Lower and lift. Excellent. Bringing your right hand down. Thank you, body. Classic cat-cow. Inhale and exhale round. Not going as far back. Just a couple of these before we get into our full body downward facing dog. When you're ready, neutral spine. We're going to hover off of those knees. Hear the power of the breath. The power of the breath is so important to tune into as we tread out. Let's tread out some fears, doubts, worries, whatever's going on. And what are we breathing in? I'm adding a little bit of rippling through the spine. You're always welcome to add that or stay stable. And affirming calmness, peace, radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. That's what we're bringing in, calmness, peace, whatever quality you'd like to bring in, you're needing more of, open to it, affirm it, radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And let's go ahead and step one foot forward, then the other. Then walk the hands back into our forward fold, resting the palms at the hollows of the elbows. It's gentle rocking. We know that is so soothing. Rocking, soothing. That's intuitive sense there. Strength and soothing we're cultivating. Many things we're bringing in the yin and the yang of as we bend the knees, reach back in our strength chair pose. We're reaching up. And again, slicing out. Here, inhale, bringing in strength. Releasing, yeah. Inhale, bringing in courage. Inhale, stretching out. Exhale, sweeping the arms out to the side. Before we come into our mountain, just swirl that energy. It's coming from within and around your aura, your field within you, and the energy field all around you. You could go up as high as the shoulders. Okay. All right, let's take a moment at the front of our mat in our mountain pose. Root down, healed, and deep into the earth, Mother Earth, and draw up. Draw up, belly, heart, and again, crown and beyond the crown. Known from the fourth to the upper chakras, we're opening to that higher self wisdom and intuition. We're receiving that, we're opening to it. We open first and then we receive. So we're saluting to the sun, we're saluting to that light within, and we're offering that light, we're invoking it to all beings, especially people that are going through challenges. We all know there are challenges in life, and we need that support. So let's bring in that light, that sun, that healing energy to these souls, bring them into our hearts, to the mat. And may all beings also open to their higher consciousness. So the people we know, and then if you feel to expand it to all beings who are awakening to that light and their soul's evolution. Not quite a sun salute, but I love the invocation that we're going to do now. We're going to tap into the spiritual eye. We're going to start with a little bit of it is a balance pose. Anytime we lift one foot off the ground, that's a balance, right? So I'm going to come over here. And what this looks like is shifting our weight onto the left foot, looking at a point in front of you, and lifting the right foot. If you can, rotate the ankle. So we're doing more of a taste of an extended leg pose. If possible, you can reach underneath the thigh just for support. Extend this right leg. Couple breaths. Bend that right knee. See, we're balancing. And then we step back. We step back. I forgot to say, if you're using weights, bring the weights over by your side. Okay, we're just going to do some lunge pulsing here. So we're going to lift off the back heel, and we're going to bend the elbows at first, bend both knees, exhale down, and reach up simultaneously, or with the arms without the legs. Coming back, and pulsing lunge, very strong. We'll use the warrior one affirmation. Do about 4 or 5 of these. I attune my will to the source of all power. Feel the strength and power in that attunement. We're opening, opening, opening to the source of all power. One more now as we come down. If you can, step those weights out. I'm going to bring my left foot forward and then reach back through that right heel and just come forward and back, gliding and sliding. You can think of it like that. And then we're going to step back into our plank. So stepping back, still gliding and sliding with strength. Couple breaths. Let that exhale be audible. And then knee, chest, chin, or classic chaturanga. Coming down and reaching through the toes for our locust pose with our arms down by our side. We're opening our wings of joy. First with the tops of the feet down, legs strong, engaged. Inhale, lift up. Reach back. Exhale, halfway. Soften. Squeeze the tension out. Activate. Inhale. Open those wings of joy, maybe a little bit wider. And ease. This time we lift the feet off the ground if that works for you. Inhale. And then maybe we lift the arms out to the side. Pulse here. So you come down a little, but then you recharge up. Recharging our wings of joy. Letting them expand. At your pace, at your timing. And then take a complete yogic breath here. Hand staff, we rest at the spiritual eye. Exhale. Let the earth hold you. Inhale. Belly, ribs, lungs, heart, crown. Beyond the crown opens. And then we soften and let go. Exhale through the mouth, make that audible, letting go. And then we're ready, perhaps, for our Cobra Bhujangasana. It could be Sphinx pose, it could be partial Cobra, doesn't have to be a full, but again, those legs are engaged. Sometimes you put a block between the thighs or the calves to ensure the leg engagement, but you can feel that as we rise up to greet the opportunities of this day. Shoulders down, stick out the tongue, eye gaze up. Legs still strong. Deep heart opener. Okay, knees touch down, and you knew probably where we're going here. Bringing the knees underneath the hips, turning the toes under, hovering off of those knees, a couple breaths. And then pouring back. Pouring back, pressing through the base of the fingers. Putting it out if you like. Stabilizing. You need always that blend of flexibility and stability. If we're going through a lot of change in life, and maybe more stability. Either way, we're inviting calmness and peace to radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Okay, and then when you're ready, stepping one foot, then the other, walking the hands back. You can either do the classic fold here or reach underneath the soles of the feet. It's kind of nice after pressure in one direction to the opposite. But again, that rocking. And I'm casting it mentally, releasing from all areas of my brain as much as I can, relaxing unnecessary things I can't control, and just returning to my center, turning to my center. And from that place, we're much clearer conduit of light energy. When we come up, we're bending the knees, just one chair pose to come up and radiating energy up. Feeling space all around. Come into the front of your mat. This setting into our mountain pose, setting into our intention, bringing those other souls into our heart for healing, light energy. Opening to the light within, to the expansion of consciousness for all beings. And for that healing energy to radiate through those loved ones we know that are needing more of that. Dropping into a deep heart, deep soul as we balance on the other side. So, start with our balance pose right off, rooting down through the right foot, bending the left knee. This is going to be different on each side. You can have a wall or objects, furniture, whatever works for you, rotating. And then see if you can extend that leg, or if you want some help here, no problem. Extended leg pose. Bending the knee, stepping it back, preparing for our lunge series. Okay, working on that strengthening. So our back heel is off. This is actually better for a low back than the classic warrior because it gives a bit of a arc to the lumbar. So we're going to bend our knees. You can widen the stance if you're feeling off balance here. Look at a point in front of you. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, coming up. Straighten the back leg. Exhale, bending the knee. Down. You do a lot of variations in the arm. See what works for you. And just stay with the basics here. As I attune my will to the source of all power. And maybe one more. I don't really count on this side. Knee touches down. That could be a lot. Set the weights out to the side. And let's come into our lunge stance. Classic lunge here, bending your right knee, left leg straight, and gliding forward and back. Woo, forward and back. Okay, let's step it back to our plank. And again, that glide. Stay in it a little bit longer. If you can't do the classic chaturanga, bring the elbows in, otherwise knee, chest, chin. And then we'll do our opposite arm, right arm forward, Left arm back, the locust recharging the spine. When you're ready, inhale, right arm, left leg pulses up and ease. We'll do 3 of these. Inhale, extend, energize. And then sometimes it's a subtle retracting back. It's not a complete relaxation, it's subtle. Inhale, pulse it up. Exhale, down. We'll take the left arm, just like life. Sometimes you just pull back a little bit, sometimes a lot. Right arm by our side, left arm extends. When you're ready, pulse with the breath. Inhale, recharge, opening the wings of joy, and some ease of the relaxation. But there's still energy there. Inhale, opposites, and retract. And then one more, pulse it up. And now we deeply relax. So we take that deeper rest, stacking the hands, resting at the spiritual eye, softening into Mother Earth. Feel the difference of your front body getting heavier, releasing. Back body may feel lighter. Both qualities are existing simultaneously. And that luxurious, long, and full yogic breath. When you're ready, belly, ribs hard if you're on the expansion stage, crown opening, and then the softening. If you want to make it audible, you can. You'll hear that oceanic sound. Do a few rounds. And then we'll prepare for our Bhujangasana, for our Cobra pose. Right. Legs strong, elbows as much as you can by your sides. Inhale, could be many here. You're still activating, heart halfway. Or all the way up, legs strong, lion's breath. I rise up joyfully to greet the opportunities of this day. We're open to meet the opportunities of this day. Okay, and then we take a deeper wide with the knees, prayer pose. We could lift our wrists up or keep our palms down. Keep touching back within. Maybe you're connected to the beautiful, to the heart the whole time, the deep heart, the true self, whatever you call that. But definitely the inward poses are invitational to even feel that more, because we're not as active. But ideally, we're connected no matter what we're doing. Okay, and then we round up, rounded cat. Scoop it out. Neutral spine, turn the toes under, just enough to pour back. So it's a down dog for a moment, a couple moments, because it's so good. And then more of a forward fold, walking our hands back. So good for the entire body, but especially the back and the spine. Elongate the spine. You could have a slight bend in the knees, but make sure you engage those thighs. And things we can't control, just that art of letting go. It's a practice. As we bend the knees, sweep it back, strength pose, coming up to transition. And feel the effect of a lunging, bent knee lunging in our mountain pose vinyasa that we just practiced together. Notice where the hands want to be. More containment, belly to heart, out to the side. What quality? The quality could change, of course. Our lives are fluid. What are we bringing in now? What are you letting go of? Okay, for our next vinyasa, I'm going to take a sip of lemon water before we get started. Hydrate. Now we're going to move your props to the side so they're accessible. I'm going to bring a block over. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. So back to our mountain pose in case you left it. And what we're gonna do is, again, just take a moment, shifting the weight onto that left foot, right foot lifts up to just incorporate balance throughout the day. As we step back, we deepen in our upper bodies at a angle here, and we're gonna reach up with our arms and then turn into our warrior two. Okay, Virabhadrasana 2. Rooting down and pulsing up. And we're affirming in so many ways we say it in our affirmations. I joyfully manifest the power of the divine. We're opening to that divine power within us. And then when we truly tap in, whatever we're doing is manifesting that around us. Makes sense? Reaching up, left arm comes up, yes. Left forearm bends, and we lightly tap that thigh, and then dynamically reach that side extension. Beautiful. I'm a fountain of boundless energy and power. I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. And then we release down. Excellent. Let's take rest here in our pyramid pose. Again, you could have 2 blocks or 1, or either 2 or make it balanced, of course. We were practicing the rocking, flexing back with the left toes. We're just touching down that right heel. Just rocking in our pyramid to then we find our stability. We draw back the left hip, right hip forward. Bowing to the wisdom of the heart. Of course, that's a theme. Different ways to say it, different ways for you to experience it. The main thing is that you make contact with that deep wisdom of the heart, soul, divine self, however you say it. Tuning in. And certain poses you could it's here, you're actually doing it, so it's a little bit more easier perhaps to feel. And then we're going to bend that left knee. We're going to come off of the back heel. You can use a block by your instep to revolve, twist, lunge. So we come up with our left hand, we twist, and we could see if we want to bring that left arm up or not, and then ease down a little bit more. So lift up, and then we ease down. See if we can do this 3 or 4 pulses. And then the left hand comes down, the right knee bends. And to finish off this vinyasa series, we're gonna do a half camel. I'm going for it here. Take the block by the outside of the calf or the ankle, frontal facing hips. Okay, let's sweep both arms up, but especially this right arm comes back. We can look for the block. We could sense that it's there. The left arm reaches. And we're doing our back bend in yet a different dimension. We did it in Cobra. Now we're in Ustrasana, half camel. With calm faith, I open to the light. If you have a deity practice with calm faith, I open to thy light. Opening the heart, protecting the neck, tucking the chin if it's too much for the neck, and then we come back. And we protect our back by peeling the left toes up, left hip back, opposite hand, and our half split. Ardha Hanumanasana. Okay, another bow into the wisdom of the heart. And having our blocks, props ready so that we're just gonna flow through here. We're gonna take our plank. We're gonna take our knee, chest, chin, or classic chaturanga. We're not gonna stay long. We're just gonna rise up. Couple breaths. And then transition. Down dog, up dog, go so well together. I'm going to do a little more figure 8 in the hips. Either way you do this, we're affirming that calmness and peace radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Okay, stepping forward, forward fold, relaxing, casting aside unnecessary mental burdens, and rising up in our chair. Sweeping up before we go to the other side. Take a moment, take that in. Bring back to that true self, that self-love, the deep self within, the divine love within, radiating through this form. And then coming back to the front. So a lot of times I have a plan for my vinyasa flow, but more often than not, I'm kind of in the moment. I am in the moment with it. So if I forget something, I'm going to check in because I forgot last week, certain pose, and make sure I captured it all. So I'll do the flow and then I'll check in. It's a little hard to see, but I'll do my best. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is, and especially if I turn around, I'm not making excuses, but it throws right brain stuff. It just makes it more interesting. Okay. So we're going to lift up the left leg and have our balance for a moment and then step it back. Step it back. We're going to angle to the side a bit. Okay, just to prep really for our Virabhadrasana 2. So we're coming up, you're on your opposite leg, okay? All right, from your knee is bent in the opposite way. We're reaching out. Let's pulse the palms down a few times. And then turn the palms up. And let the fingertips touch the thumb. And then look over that right hand. I joyfully manifest the power of the divine. I joyfully manifest the power of the divine. Very good. Okay, and then from here, we're coming down into our side angle pose. So lightly, it's so tempting. I'm gonna have to turn around. It's so tempting to just drop down, right? And collapse this upper body onto the thigh. We don't want to do that. We want to extend. And feel that you are that boundless fountain of power and energy. It's very strong. I'm boundless fountain of power and energy. You may not feel that, but we're affirming our higher truth, holding that. Okay, and then from here, we take that arm down and we step it into our pyramid, pulsing back and forth, bowing to the wisdom of our heart, always a theme in yoga, just living from our true self. Right hip back, left hip forward. If you want to stabilize a few breaths, beautiful. We feel what that contact is. Feel what it is to live from the heart, from the true self, from source. Big love. And then taking it into our bent knee lunge. Okay, this is where you may want to bring in your prop or your block. And twist from the core, off that back heel, maybe the arm lifts up as those hips come down, but we're still energizing. Okay, we're not collapsing. That's really key. We keep energizing, and these standing poses are strong, building our strength. So 3, 2, 1, and then we come down on top of that knee for our Ustrasana, for our camel pose. Placing the block there. I'll turn it around towards you here. Okay. Okay. So block out to the side, tailbone down. Bring the hands first here, but then we're sweeping up and around. The right arm comes forward, protecting your neck. You can even place your hand here. With calm faith, I open to the light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. See which one, the light, thy light works for you. And inhale, protecting the back by coming into our half split, peeling the toes back, opposite hand forward. Of course, we're stretching that hamstring. We're just really, really, really letting ourselves melt into the wisdom of the heart. And then if you feel complete, coming forward and stepping it back. Before we go to the down dog, I just want to make sure I got everything. If somebody could give me a thumbs up if I forgot any pose, okay? Thank you. All righty, step it back to down dog, appreciate that. As we get back side to side. just integrating it all. That was a wonderful, I think, strong yet deep inward practice as well as outward practice. Now we're going to take it into more floor work, which is deep too, but we're going to kind of roll with pigeon, if you will. I'm going to draw the inner borders of the feet together, lift the right leg up, bend the right knee, and then sweep that right knee between the hands. Okay. Adjust so you can see what I'm doing. So this heel somewhere, not on that left hip bone, but in that area as we rock side to side. So good for our hips and our heart, because we're getting that upper back bend here. Now, when we melt forward, make sure you're pointing, you're coming on top of that left knee and pointing through the left toes, especially the large second toe as we melt forward. It's not just passive leg back there. And again, we consciously rest at the spiritual eye, at the heart center, at the upper chakras, into this present moment to moment awareness. For that again and again. Past and future does come up in our mind. That's what it did, but we're just resting now in sensations of the breath, sensations of the body. We can return to the present moment. Smell, sound, taste. Soften the shoulders. Just tune into that oceanic full yogic breathing here for 2 or 3 rounds at your pace, lengthening the inhale, lengthening the exhale. Gentle pause between the inhale and exhale. And when you've completed your exhale, we're going to rise up slowly, slowly, slowly coming up. And then bending. So we're coming onto this right cheek. We're bending the left knee. Turn it around here. Rooting at first through both sit bones just to stabilize. And we're going to add our rocking horse. So the hand underneath the right knee, the left hand at the left toes. We're going to rock back and forth. Here it is, making this a somatic yoga exercise, adding that rocking, flowing, soothing quality to it. Very effective to the nervous system. I love that all this information is becoming so mainstream now with science and soul. It's wonderful. Stabilize. And before we go the other side, we're going to bring this left knee connects and then lift up. Now, if that's too much for your twist, you bring the foot in front of the shin. It's okay on the outside of the lower thigh. Again, root down through both sit bones, lengthen up, start to twist the torso. You know how good those twists are for us. We can hug the knee in. We can bring the elbow out, the left hand like a kickstand, gently supporting you, so opening the heart. Remembering, bringing that love, healing energy, sending out to soul friends everywhere, and especially to people that are in need of more healing right now. Visualize them at the spiritual eye, our broadcasting center. Yogananda says this is a broadcasting center, the heart's the receiving center. So we're broadcasting the health and wellness, whatever the soul needs. Sometimes we're not sure what the recipe is, but the intention to send healing energy is a beautiful practice. Okay, slowly coming back, lengthening up, shoulders down. And we're gonna transition, we're gonna go to the ground first. I remember we gotta kick that other leg, but we'll get to it. We'll bend this left knee down while we're on the ground, extend that right leg back, frontal facing hips, come on top of that right knee. And then unfurl the toes, reach to the top of those toes, shimmy shake. And our Ekapada Raja Kapotanasana, royal pigeon pose, royal pigeon as we melt down. And if you can remember to stack the other hand on top, it's just a good brain opener, resting at our seat of intuition, softening the shoulders, deepening into the yogic breath as you affirm that you are resting in this present moment. Past and future thoughts come up, we tag them, we name them, past, future, come back to the present. The sensations of the breath, sensations in the body. Mentioned last week that great practice of writing down our worries for 5 to 10 minutes. Get it out, get it out, get it out. When worries come in, which they do, okay, I attended to that. Back to the present moment. Inhale when you're ready, wrists underneath you, rising up. Shoulders down, shimmy, shake. See how this side does, and this left hip, and as we bend that right knee, bring it in, adjust, so we're rooted down to start through our sit bones. Rocking horse, going back and forth. Doing some playfulness maybe, and just some different images of rocking horse moments. As a kid myself, and then other grandkids, etc. Fun stuff. Okay. All right, and then stabilize. Thank you, body. And we'll see how this side does. Inner twist. Either in front of the shin, outside. Root down, and then from the core, twist. Hug that knee or bring the elbow over. Right hand like a kickstand, twist. So our hand to the heart, very warm. We're offering that heart energy, offering that Urzik here, the warmth of the heart to others. I was talking to a client yesterday, she adopts kittens, she had the kitten at her heart. It's so sweet to see. Sometimes we have that ability for the being to be next to us. Sometimes we visualize that being, sending them heart healing energy. And then coming back, interlocking, and just letting that whole flow really do its magic through our body as we finish off with, before we come down to the ground, to that down dog with the leg extension. That'll be the left leg, I hope. So see if this works for your body. And then when we come down, before we come down to Shavasana, let's tread it out. I'd love to do this Feldenkrais series. It's a wonderful on the ground. It's called Open the Book. So what it looks like is we're going to start on our left side. So the left arm is extending, the whole body just stretches out first in a nice line here. So, but think of your left arm and your left leg staying elongated, okay, as the right knee bends. And then the open the book part. Now the Feldenkrais part is this hand slides forward and then retracts back. So just do this a couple times, sliding forward, retracting back. And then this third one, we open the book, meaning this right arm comes up. And then we come on to our shoulders. Yes, I have just enough room. Now we often do this and make that circle above the head, but instead we're going to reach back up again. And we're going to use that affirmation. It's so beautiful. Divine light. Glaze forward, glaze back, reach up is within me. And all around me, that knee lifts up. So the shoulders come back. Heart open. One more time. Open the book of the heart. Divine life is within me. Glaze it back. And this is arms like a little pillow here. And all around me. Ooh. Okay, let's release our back before we go to the other side. So we come onto our back, we keep back and rocking in, making those circles, opening the hips and releasing the back simultaneously. And then you can rock on, of course, to your right side. I've got a rock and turn. No problem. So I'm rocking and turning. You're just rocking. Anyway, you can do this. And then the right arm's extended. Both legs start out extended. So the right leg, the right arm stays extended the whole time. The left knee bends. The left arm comes out, glazing, and then retracting. The head's going along for the ride. The hips are too, but really it's mainly about the shoulders. About 3 times before we open the book of the heart. And then we come back and we sweep this left arm up. The left knee comes up. Heart open and affirming as we flow at your pace and timing. Divine light is within me and all around me. Another way to nourish the body. Divine life is within me and all around me. Of course, you're here. We're doing all we can. No matter what's going on in the body, adjust it to make it work for you. That you're attending to it in the most loving, compassionate way. If it's been your third time and you're ready to come back onto your back, bend the knees, adjust onto the spine. Hold the knees in, give them a big hug. Thank you, thank you, thank you for what you can do. A lot of times we're working through the pain. We're having these sensations, we're listening, but we're also trying to do what we can through it. As we open the hips and just see what would feel best to you for a final pose, maybe happy baby pose. Trying to get the little back to touch. And getting the mind and the body ready for Shavasana today. What's going to feel the best to you? Will it be legs up the wall? Will it be draping over a couch or a chair or a ball? Want to be the bolster underneath your spine or some blocks to get the more of a heart opening. And where do the legs want to be in that classic Shavasana or butterfly? Key to getting as cozy and comfortable as possible as we get set up for deep, deep restoration. We've been restoring all along. Now we can really take that in. All right. In the comfort of your home, adding whatever feels good to you. And if it feels good to you to do the classic tensing and relaxing, short then long double breath. Tense the body, vibrate with energy. And then exhale, soften, double breath. I'll really lengthen the exhale, do that. You can do it a couple times. And as you're settling in, again, just take as much time as you need to get yourself comfortable. Yourself safe and secure. And then getting used to just deepening into your breath, making that such an important practice. And then perhaps if it speaks to you to add that quality, it could be a new one or the same one. What are you breathing in? What are we breathing out? Breath of life. Bring peace and healing. I'm breathing in peace and healing in the body. Breathing out any residual tensions. Well, let's start with the bottom up, the toes, just the feet. Imagine that, feel their toes and the feet, and imagine some warm water caressing the toes, the soles of the feet, the heels. And that warm water is just starting to merge upward into the calves, healing, repairing, helping the knees and the thighs, that warm healing water. And visualizing an environment for health and healing, rejuvenating and repairing. I'm healing now. That warm healing water is now coming into the cheeks and the belly and luxuriating in that belly breathing. My body and mind are healing with love and care. I am grateful for this environment of health and healing. And breathing into the heart and allowing that divine light to flow through all the cells of my body, but especially returning to that natural love of the heart that's already whole, already free, already aware. Just resting in our true nature, absorbing in our true nature. Feeling the shoulders submerge in that warm, healing light and that radiant warmth through the arms, shoulders, upper, lower arms, elbows, hands, palms, just kind of floating with ease. Letting your subconscious mind support your healing. Our neck and head are outside of this warm water, resting, softening the jaw, upper and lower. Relaxing the muscles and nerves around the eyes and the eye sockets themselves. Softening any tension in the forehead, any frustrations, let them ease. And we're moving in, if you're not already in that inner smile and the joy kosha, sense of natural well-being. And then the part where we zoom out, and it's called witnessing awareness, where we discover the part of ourselves that is already at peace and ease, no matter what the circumstances are. So that in this and every moment, may I remember to feel my innate sense of well-being. And just noticing if you'd like to stay in Shavasana longer, or if you'd like to return to movement. It's your choice. Always doing so gradually if you are returning to movement. Either way, again, the sending healing energy to others, so important as we practice on the mat, off the mat. We'll now bring our, if you're able to, depending on your position, bring in your hands together. I'm going to rub them together to generate heat and visualize others that we're sending through the sound of Om. Om sound to these beings that are needing this extra healing now. Visualize them at the spiritual eye. Inhale. Bringing the hands together in Namaste, acknowledging the divine awareness, the divine light, the divine love within you, recognizing that in others, even when it may be challenging to do so, as we bow to the wisdom of our heart and letting it lead the way day by day, moment by moment, awareness. And I will stop the recording.